Jarvan and Irelia still a strong 2v2 up top, and we wanted to see them play towards ICU. This gives him the opportunity with the Irelia going up against Graves there from Leaky. I'm excited. This draft is hilarious in the sense that Hurricane Gaming have drafted like they were DCG. The tides have turned. DCG looking a bit standard this time around as we jump into Summoner's Rift. Nice start. Nice call on the Trundle there. Didn't actually expect it to finally go into support, but you told me, you said it would pair really nicely with the Ziggs, and here we are with Enhao taking Guardian alongside Bang 2.
Yeah, and the best part about Trundle support is, as we might see a level 1, okay, Aliao going to come under fire. He is, of course, the early game engine for the squad to really make things work for this draft. And it makes a lot of sense for DCG to try and target him out. But going back to the Trundle pick, like, you put down your pillar, and it's so hard for this backline of DCG to really do anything because there is no jumps. There is not a whole lot of mobility on this backline, and that sets things up very easily for everything else, whether it's the Cataclysm, whether or not it's the Satchel coming in from the Ziggs, the Event Horizons coming in from this Veigar. It's perfect setup here to really lock down this backline.
I'll be looking towards Woody and who he ults, because considering all the tools that Hurricane Gaming have that you just labeled off, Woody's ulti becomes that much more valuable as ICU going to be walking into Leaky. Nice little bit of trading here as ICU not going to get the beneficial version of it, as the Aurelia top definitely going to be our focus here running into this game. And Aliao is going to be pathing all the way up there as he starts on his blue side.
Yeah, for the side of DCG, I mean, they have that ward around the Raptors, so they'll know when he makes it over to that section of the map. But for now, bot lane should be looking to try and play as aggressive as they can level 1. And I mean, as the lane goes on, especially after that first buy, that's really the big power spike for Ziggs, because you get that lost chapter, and that's when you can really endlessly clear waves without really any punishment. So DCG, it's about this early laning phase if they want to get advantages down in that bottom lane.
And from Nesty too, further to your point. So waiting for the level 6 on Twisted Fate Ultimate, as you talked about. DCG on some kind of a timer, despite the fact that there is a Jinx, a Graves. Like, I like that you referenced that it still needs to come down to what this Twisted Fate does, as Hana doing a bit of dirty work in the jungle himself. That ward placed by Leaky at the start of the game, and it looks like Aliao's red will be contested to kick things off. Aliao just waiting to steal it back over. Nesty has priority in the mid lane as well, so Cha-Cha has to move over in front of a gold card.
It's time to flip. Here we go.
Well, Smite goes down. Nothing happens at the end of the day. Cha-Cha just moves away. And for Nesty, he's done his work. Hana gets out, and that's a nice little invade.
Yeah, that is certainly going to be a nice pick off there for DCG. Denying the red buff, of course, adds that extra gank pressure if it was to go into the hands of the Jarvan. So not having that slow makes life a lot easier for Leaky, as Leaky
what
is
a
just
pain.
like, I'm taking matters into my own hands.
The whole of DCG, there's 2 members now who've just gotten in the face of his jungle. Aliao is 2 minions behind. He lost half of the Krug, lost his red buff. They're making sure that Jarvan doesn't get a fun time moving straight to top, or at least getting early impact in this game.
Yeah, and that's also the benefit coming in from these soul lanes right now, or just all these lanes in general, is the fact that they are going to have a better time getting shove to be able to help out their jungler. Yes, these lanes don't necessarily hard punish the lanes on the side of Hurricane Gaming, but it does mean that they can hard punish this Jarvan jungle, and so far he's feeling the brunt.
Look at him again. Nesty and Hana making their way out. Nesty doesn't even have level 6. Aliao every step of the way is being tracked, and I just love that for DCG, this team that has been doing so well in the PCS. They're constantly playing these early games so well as a unit, whether it's Bard or not. Their macro, their map movements have been pretty clean.
Yeah, it's really about the draft and then the map rotations when it comes to DCG, as it looks like we're having to play bot.
Great tongue lash, and look, they get the knock up as well.
Alia's
here, but his Ignite goes down. Bang 2 without much mana. Satchel Charge gets him out as Woody going to pop that grey health shortly. Hunter as well running away from the pillar, and it was just a jungle beat jungle gank. Nesty even made his way down with the teleport of the turret, and it looks like everything quells from there.
Yeah, nice teleport coming in from Nesty just to make sure that if things were to turn and Hurricane Gaming wanted to make that move, he'd be there. And because of the fact that the wave wasn't crashed towards his tower, he just doesn't miss out on anything. So well done from the side of DCG, but a great read coming in from Alia to dissuade that play from continuing.
Well, Nesty joins back in the mid wave. He's going to push out the wave. Now has the ultimate available. Nightstar, you're talking a little bit about what Nesty can do here on the Twisted Fate, and he's already made his way to the top side. ICU doesn't have himself the Vanguard's edge, and against the wall. He hits 6 now, but he's got 3 members to deal with. Doesn't pop the ulti, doesn't pop the flash. First blood given over to DCG.
Actually, really intelligent coming in from ICU, playing the fight as he did, not expending any big cooldowns like the flash or the ultimate. That means when he comes back here, he will have kill pressure on the Graves, and I think that's going to be really important to keep track of, as this will be the timing for him to try and get things done in the 1v1 against Leaky. As a result, you see Leaky, he gets that wave down in that over in the mid lane, and we should see DCG play pretty defensive, keeping Leaky, or trying to keep Leaky safe.
I think at this point as well, like, knowing that Hurricane Gaming are going to play towards the top side. We knew that when Aurelia gets locked in, when Alia on the Jarvan was pathing towards top, that they were going to hit that lane at one point or another. The DCG are one step ahead, and as soon as that ulti comes up, Nesty, that's the direction he picks, is really nice peace of mind. Really nice, what would you call it? Upfront play from DCG, kind of what we expect. So a lot of praise coming through. Leaky in a great position with a CS lead in this lane. Look even at mid with the first blood going down. Nesty keeping up in CS. Was able to pick up Mercury Treads as well, so Event Horizon becomes a little less useful. And here at 7 minutes in the game, it's a 1k gold lead. There's Dragon up, Herald coming in about 40 seconds time. And I'm kind of curious to see which one DCG pick, because they've got Pryor losing out in the mid lane and Hana swinging down bot.
Yeah, priority for the side of DCG should be towards this Rift Herald, but of course if they're able, they are able to most likely get bot lane priority, as Lost Chapter hasn't quite been obtained by the Ziggs. It would mean that they really get to pick and choose what they target here, as it's a 2v2.
All right, Event Horizon comes down. Hana with his ulti still up, and Aliar decides not to flag and drag in. Doesn't have the Cataclysm available. Hana's ulti difference kind of dissuading the play, and Hurricane Gaming looking for options here. And that might even signal the start of the Herald as he backs away.
Yeah, that's exactly the read DCG have, is that they need to snowball, and Rift Herald is the best way to snowball that, and also means that they can have a lot of members towards this top side, which means ICU has to play a lot more respectfully. We'll see if they actually go for this team fight, though, as they are setting up for it.
That was an early smite, playing it risky here. Ulti comes out, and Aliar can't get the steal. Collateral damage, Ignite down the burst onto Chachan. Down he goes, man, like a nice swing dance, and Hurricane Gaming with 4-0 against them. DCG absolutely explode him.
Well, Hysterics, sometimes when you have a lot of scaling, or a very solid scaling draft, you kind of just go, let's not do it. Let's flip.
Yeah, I like flipping, man. I never got a job at McDonald's growing up, so I'm all about flipping that burger.
It certainly is a lot of fun, but it's not exactly the result.
That's a lie. Don't pretend like working at McDonald's is good, as Aliar walks into this one. Flag and drag in as well. Eaten up. Nice little Travala as Woody spits him out in the team. The collateral damage, excuse me.
Oh, they could get one.
Explosion from Bang 2. A good response as Hana matches with the flash from Howard. Tongue lash as well. A double click over the wall.
Here.
And Woody's done his job. Event Horizon down, but Nesty is responding. The knock up as well. Cha-cha again, man. The name ain't doing him any favors. He ain't dancing well at all.
Oh, that is so tragic because Woody pops his great health just in time as well, and it absorbs a lot of that ult damage. Now bank through, he's just dead.
He's dead. He's dead. Gold card doesn't even need to be used. Pick any card at this point. Nesty, good satchel charge. Woody not absorbing the damage. It's balanced by Chris Carter. 8-1. I'm ready for a 20-minute game here because Nightstar, this is looking too easy.
Oh man, we get to see the replay on just how close that Rift Herald actually was, and it was really, really close. But this is the issue when you play scaling, is that your first Herald fight, 9 times out of 10, will not go well. And that's exactly how it happened. Like, yes, Irelia gets a nice little flank in that fight, but in the end, it's not going to amount to much because the other side of the fight just doesn't go well whatsoever.
I want to point out that, like, the other side of the fight was was worth looking at with the early smite. That there was opportunity there for Hurricane Gaming, but it's been barreled from one play to another. In front of Herald, 6,000 gold now stems at 11 minutes in the game. This is huge. I don't know what more to say than it just feels like Hurricane Gaming have to stem it out and get to that 40-minute point. But even then, DCG still have great scaling on their side. It's not going to matter much.
Yeah, it's not like DCG scale that poorly. It's just they don't scale as well as Hurricane Gaming. But when you have a Jinx that's 3-0 and 4, it really shores up a lot of your issues with scaling towards that mid-later part of the game. So they're going to get a bunch of plates for Cristata. They're going to just... I'm not sure if he breaks this tower. I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks this tower. He's going to get solo turret gold here. It's first turret. Like, I don't know how much gold advantage he has, but it must be 1 million.
Yeah, it's big, right? 304. First turret blood going to be 610, and Leaky puts up the white flag. The Irelia was such a fun pick to talk about in draft, but ICU, as he gets collapsed on with the Destiny's Gate once again, is feeling the brunt. Everfrost down, and this guy, you know, a great top laner, but if he's not being played towards, if the whole map collapses in front of him, what can he do? DCG in front of another turret with plating still up and available. Leaky spreading the plating, and Nesty helping him out with yet another kill.
Yeah, and I mean, there's really no other lane for the side of DCG to attack that they really need to attack here. Is even if you do throw attention onto the Ziggs, he doesn't feel bad by getting set behind a little bit, but the one that's going to feel the big brunt of getting attention thrown over to him is, of course, that Irelia. And now this Irelia pick really just out of the game. 0-3-0. Yes, you're keeping up in CS, but Leaky's the one able to get a lot of that plate gold. He's the one that's able to share part of that turret gold as well. And he has 3 kills to his name, has the hull breaker to his name. So he's in a very comfortable spot as
the full item
mid lane is also very close to getting shattered, and that will also go into the hands of Cristata.
That means all 15 pieces of turret plating will be broken before the 14-minute mark, as it's about to drop down. Chris Carter gets it, gets excited, but doesn't step forward. Aliao was off in the wing trying to find a counterplay. And for DCG, 3 turrets under 14 minutes. Leaky now with a hull break, having a great time with his cannon minion, pushing his luck, trying to find an inner, as even the jungle camp is contested. This is a 10k gold lead at almost 14 minutes. This is ridiculous. This is illegal, as Cadra would say, and yeah, give him objective bounties. Hurricane Gaming needs something.
I don't know if objective bounties are enough. They need like triple objective bounties here to even salvage this game at the moment. And I mean, one of the big differences with a team like Hurricane Gaming over a team like Sem9, Sem9 know how to slow the game down. That's not Hurricane Gaming.
No, DCG know how to speed it up at this point. It's a nice pillar to disengage, but it's already the kill picked up once again. And this full scaling comp from HG, you know, the problem is that they didn't account for the fact that they had to lane against a team that's played the early game so well. Gold goes down, and ICU wants to take this, but Everfrost buying time as Hana makes his way in. Another gold card at the ready. Flashes there if he needs it. Vanguard's edge flies through. ICU wants to take it, even as Irelia behind. He can't do too much. Hana picks up another kill, and, you know, if you could FF for 15 minutes, I would say spam that button.
Oh, it's definitely that sort of angle in this game. Certainly getting out of hand. Oh, man. I mean, if this was LPL, you just kind of say, all right, we'll think about the next game. But unfortunately for Hurricane Gaming, they don't have a next game to think about for today. So it's about going to next day at this rate. Yeah,
I think for Hurricane Gaming, what we've seen is, you know, they've had a couple of great moments with their top laner. And that's why the team's sitting at 1-6, because, you know, straight off the gate, they're... I don't know how to say this. There's been a lot of early game mistakes in the past couple of games where the Tristana comp we saw here from Bane 2, it was around Dragon where they all inned and tried to flip, and it went badly for them again. This game around the Herald, Hurricane Gaming flipped, and it went badly for them. So I don't know what to say, but the decision-making and the first 15 minutes of the game need to be analyzed, because HG aren't making it through without falling behind for 5,000 gold, at least.
Yeah, the one win they had was, of course, against, I believe, Frank Esports, where it was at the 17-minute mark, and they were only, I think it was like 2 or 3k gold behind. So yes, they were still in a deficit, but they were able to find the team fight victory at that point. And we would like to see that sort of approach be reiterated this time around, but, you know, this gold lead's a little bonkers.
Yeah, it is. For DCG in a turret being threatened. Look at the inhibitor turret being threatened in the bot side. Leaky is level 12. Can't be matched by any solo member. Needs more. And as Herald number 2 gets the charge in, they're trying to get an under 20-minute game. Chris Carter does so much damage himself. There's good wave clear, but the poke and the range starting to build up as inhibitor turret threatened here. And How is not tanky enough. The Event Horizon trying to play defensive as Woody goes in aggressive. He gets a knockup, he forces them backwards, and DCG have broken 2 inhibitor turrets now that Leaky's mid. Inhibitor 1 threatened the top side, mid going down as well. This is easy as Hana pops the Crescent Guard once again, and inhibitor drops down. HG are fighting for their life.
Trying to get a pick onto Leaky. They land the stun, but I mean, there's just no follow-up, right? And they're gonna poke him away, but that's also their only tool to clear out waves if you use your ultimate like that. So we'll see how the game progresses, but as it stands, good luck.
Yeah, Lens, tongue lash, smoke screen out. Leaky forces him to flash. Woody even follows up with a nice little Abyssal Voyage. And ICU's out of there. 0-4 here with only Blade of the Ruined King. You look at his counterpart, Leaky is taking it all. That's about to be a 3rd item with the coal being sold. 3rd, or at least 2.5. Let's look. What's the gold like? That is a Last Whisper and a Cloak of Agility. So, yeah. Just insult to injury. Nightstar, it's a 14k gold lead, dude. I don't know how much morale can be taken from Hurricane Gaming, but DCG are planning to take it all.
Yeah, for the side of Hurricane Gaming, at the very least, I hope the burgers that they did flip early on, I hope they taste good, because that's the only takeaways for them for this game.
I'd be having a big meal after this, that's for sure. Whether they taste good or not, I'd be eating. Need something to get through the stress that was in a game that, you know, realistically, if they got through the laning phase, if they got through the first 15-20 minutes at an even state, Hurricane Gaming, it could have been very winnable. But Nesty, Hana, props to this jungle mid who was so proactive in the early game that put the game to this state. Meaning the fact that Hurricane Gaming now have no damage, have no way back in. Like, it's going to take 20 minutes, but DCG, the game will be well and truly over as we can see them once again crushing in on the final inhibitor turret.
This could be triple inhib at 20 minutes. Hysterics. It will be a second one in the mid lane. Then it's really just a siege on this bottom one. And I mean, they're going to lose their
Oh,
support.
no. Yeah, that was quick. Leaky got the mid in here, as you said, and now as the level 13 Graves continues rocking through mid by himself, Nesty joining in, and those Event Horizons not connecting either. Top lane minions are channeling in. Here goes the final inhibitor turret. The final inhibitor at 20 minutes on the dot. DCG so strong. They don't need a Baron to finish this one. They're just going to charge forward themselves.
They might be able to do it here because of the fact they have super minions coming in from mid lane. They have them already coming in from top side. So Hurricane Gaming, they need some way to engage, but it's pretty binary. The only way to do it is just kind of running at them.
Yep, and every single time they do that, their health bars tick down. They've got the fountain behind them, but Nexus turrets are getting bitten off. Alial makes his last stand, but he's burnt down, and Chris, doesn't matter that they got Woody the jungler down, part of the engage as well. And DCG 4 versus 4 as Event Horizons dodge once again. Nesty with the red card to slow down Enhao, who just respawned. And ICU tagged out again. Leaky heading forward as Vanguard's edge misses. They use this opportunity. The gold card lands, the poke again. End of the line, literally here for Hurricane Gaming, the 1-6 team, acting like it in the standings as DCG explode this team. What more can you say than that was a shellacking in 21-minute fashion?
Oh my lord, what an absolute